Good evening. My name is Michael Wynn, and I am the Chief of Police of the Pittsfield Police Department. This year, there are no colors, no invocation, no guests, no songs, no poems. This year, I'm addressing you virtually from my back deck at home. On behalf of all the men and women of the Pittsfield Police Department, I would like to thank you for taking the time to tune in and view the Pittsfield Police Department's Law Enforcement Memorial during these very strange and difficult times. For those of you who may not be familiar with it, I'd like to share some history behind this event. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy, with Public Law 87-726, designated tomorrow, May 15th, as National Peace Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar in which May 15th falls as National Police Week, in recognition of the service given by the men and women who, night and day, stand guard in our midst to protect us through enforcement of our laws. In 1994, President Clinton amended this law with Public Law 103-322, which directs that the flag of the United States on all government buildings be displayed at half-staff on May 15th, National Peace Officers Memorial Day. For many years, the Pittsfield Police Department has commemorated National Police Week by holding our own memorial service during or shortly after the national events. This year would have been no different, except, as we are all aware, we're living through a global pandemic, and the rules about what we can do and where we can hold events and who we can be with are very different. However, we could not let this week go by without attempting something to recognize the day and the week. According to the Officer Down Memorial page, since 1786, over 24,000 local, state, and federal law enforcement officers have died or been killed in the line of duty. On average, one American law enforcement officer is killed every 53 hours somewhere in the United States. In 2019, 135 law enforcement officers made the ultimate sacrifice, laying down their lives in the performance of their duty. This year, 307 new names were inscribed on the National Law Enforcement Memorial in Washington, D.C., and were recognized during the candlelight vigil last evening. As of today, 76 American officers have already paid the ultimate price this year. That number is a significant increase over the same time period last year, and it includes nearly 30 officers who have died as a result of exposure and illness from COVID-19. Locally, 3 Pittsfield police officers, 1 county sheriff's deputy, and 1 federal officer have sacrificed themselves for the safety and security of our city. Captain Michael F. Leonard, Officer Leo T. Sullivan, Officer Timothy Shepard, Jailer James Fuller, and United States Secret Service operative William Craig all died while performing their duties for or in the city of Pittsfield. As Chris Cosgriff, the founder of the Officer Down Memorial page, has stated, when a police officer is killed, it's not an agency that loses an officer, it's an entire nation. It is important that we hold their memory and the memories of the other 23,000 fallen officers close to our hearts, to remind us of the risks and chances that law enforcement officers take each and every day, throughout the country, across the Commonwealth, and here at home. Who chooses to do this work? Why do they choose to do it? Critics will say that they have an attitude or are biased, or that they have something to prove. I have not found that to be the case. In my experience, most people become police officers because they truly feel called to serve. They recognize that among us, there are those who will willingly do harm to others. They recognize that most people would prefer not to admit that, deal with it, or confront it. They recognize that in all civilized societies, some chosen few must make the decision to place themselves between chaos and order, to purposely choose to deal with violence, disorder, and destruction. These few, these guardians, must choose to move towards conflict, injury, devastation, and death, while most are running the other way. They choose to go to work with all of the other essential workers while others are sheltering at home. These guardians, or sheepdogs, will do this for complete strangers. They will do it not because of the circumstances, but because it is who they are. It is their character. It is their duty. As I have stated in previous years, it does us no good to continue to gather and recognize the fallen if we do not take steps to protect and preserve the living. Equipment is important. Right now, rapid and priority COVID testing is essential. Training is critical. However, continued access to screening services, counseling, wellness initiatives, resiliency education, fitness programs, and other protective measures are also vital. We must continue to do better by our personnel. Our men and women will continue to serve with honor and distinction because it is their duty. In return, they deserve all of the protection that we can provide them, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Please join me in calling the roll of our fallen comrades. Captain Michael F. Leonard, end of watch, June 1st, 1898. Jailer James Fuller, Berkshire County Sheriff's Office, end of watch, July 16, 1901. Secret Service Operative William Craig, end of watch, September 3rd, 1902. Officer Leo T. Sullivan, end of watch, June 18th, 1956. Officer Timothy M. Shepard, end of watch, November 2nd, 1988. Thank you to all of you at home for joining us and for viewing this year's recognition of Police Officers Memorial Day, or Peace Officers Memorial Day and National Police Week. Thank you for your continued support of all of our officers. Be well, stay safe, be healthy, be kind to one another. Thank you.